All right, so Congresswoman, 22 days is it until the election? How are you feeling?
We feel really good. We're on a good path, very solid, so much enthusiasm, and people are hard at work turning their friends and neighbors out to vote.
Why stop at a gun store today?
We were delighted to have Chris Cox, who's executive director of the NRA, and this is another way to turn out votes and remind people that the election, the early vote is starting, and we want to be sure that they remember, go vote. And of course, one of the things so important to me is protecting your Second Amendment rights. And I am so honored to have the endorsement of the NRA. I have an A rating from the NRA. My opponent has a D rating from the NRA.
One of the, as Chris mentioned it, the political ads are flying like crazy. You can't turn on the TV or listen to the radio without hearing one. One of the new ones that your opponent has out is about the opioid epidemic and the bill that he says that you helped to sponsor that let DEA agents made it harder to prosecute drugs and trace them. What's your response to that?
Well, the legislation he's referring to received complete, total, unanimous support from every member of the House and the Senate, Democrat and Republican. So it was a complete unanimous bill. Now, everything we've done related to the opioid epidemic is something that is bipartisan. And indeed, I've been a leader on that, and the president is signing some of my provisions into law this week, positive changes to make certain we address this and that we end this scourge. Let me tell you, this is an issue I've come to as a mom and a friend, and this is something that touches every single family. I'll tell you this also, our law enforcement, and I'm endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police. Law enforcement tells us the number one problem they have right now is fentanyl and heroin. And they know I'm going to be tough on crime, tough on drugs. They know if Phil Bredesen were their U.S. Senator, if Hillary Clinton were president, they want open borders, they want to abolish ICE.
230 people have already died this year from overdoses right here in Knox County alone. If you're elected senator, is that going to be one of your top priorities?
It has been one of my priorities. That's why you're seeing changes in the way the federal government and federal agencies work with state and local law enforcement. We know that prescriptions have dropped, that the number is lower. We have so much work we have to do. And my focus is getting those resources where the need is, making certain that our local law enforcement has what they need, that providers have the accountabilities that they need, that pharmacists are exercising the transparencies that they need to be exercising so that we end this.
One of the gentlemen here today asked a very poignant question about guns in schools. Would you support arming teachers?
This is something that your local law enforcement and your school systems are going to work through. Tennessee got out in front of this last year and passed legislation that will allow retired law enforcement officers to come back in and help with securing those schools. We all want to make certain that our children are safe in schools and that our people are safe in public places. And we don't want anybody who is a danger to themselves or to others to have access to a gun.
Mr. Cox, do you mind kind of stepping into frame a little closer to...
Hold on, before we're done, Congressman, your opponent's running an ad right now saying that he had an A rating when he was governor 8 or 10 years ago. Do you have a comment about that?
I know that his rating now is a D, and that he should be saying he has a D rating. He sought the endorsement of the NRA, and they did not give that endorsement to him. They endorsed me.
Very good.
That was actually my question, and I wasn't done with you, Congressman. I can pick him up standing next to you. And I'm sorry I'm hiding in between two cameras here. The governor said in the debate that he fell out of grace with the NRA after the firearms inside bars legislation. Was that what did it for the NRA against the former governor?
Well, no, again, he earned his D rating, or he got his D rating the old-fashioned way he earned it. That was the beginning. That happened when he was governor. To be clear, a bipartisan majority overrode his veto. And this was the equivalent of, if you've ever been to an Applebee's or a Chili's where there's a restaurant with a bar, you should not be able to go and carry a firearm and drink, but should you be able to go with your family, sit in the main part of the restaurant and eat your dinner and keep your licensed firearm on you? He said no while he was surrounded by armed security as governor. The overwhelming majority of the people ruled against him. The overwhelming majority of the legislature voted to overrule that veto. And so that was the beginning. And since then, he supported gun registration. He supported ammo restrictions. He supported a whole slew of gun control schemes. Not surprising given his love affair with Michael Bloomberg, who he was just up in New York City raising money with. So that's the reason we didn't change. Phil Bredesen changed. We didn't change his grade because of anything other than the fact that he changed, turned his back on self-defense, turned his back on law-abiding gun owners in this state.
Congressman, the president obviously has a close tie with the NRA, but he held a gun roundtable several months back, and he looked at a senator, I believe it was Rubio, and he said, "You're scared to say it, you're scared of the NRA." As a U.S. Senator, would you ever be open to disagreeing with the NRA, or is it just a bond that can't be broken?
What I do every day is to represent Tennesseans. I was at the round table that you were referencing, and we were talking about how you keep children safe in schools and how you keep people safe in the public arena. And there is a vast array of options. I have voted in favor of hardening schools. I have voted in favor of enhancing the NICS system and making certain that mental health is a component of this. There are things that Tennesseans want to see done to protect children and protect themselves in public spaces. But what they fully understand is that gun control is not the answer to this. They understand it's important to protect the Second Amendment.
We've got time for one more.
Okay. A couple months back, you were sort of trailing in the polls. Now it looks like you've got quite an advantage here in recent days. Our political analyst says it was the Kavanaugh hearings that made the difference. What do you think is leading to the good news for your campaign?
I think it's a compilation of things. Tennesseans have begun to focus in on the race. They want someone who's going to take Tennessee values to Washington, somebody that's going to represent them, somebody that has a proven track record of supporting lower taxes, supporting reducing regulation, supporting getting the Affordable Care Act off the books. That's what Tennesseans want. And the president coming in, of course the Kavanaugh hearings, and the debates that we have shown that there are differences between Phil Bredesen and me. And Tennesseans are in line with my values. Thank you.